Okay, and here is one of the first steps in the baked spaghetti process. The baked spaghetti process will be a very, very easy, simple, shortcut process. I don't make my own sauce. However, I have made it, but for this particular recipe or today, I will not be making homemade spaghetti sauce. I will make it with a store-bought brand of spaghetti sauce, and I will show you that later. But right now, we're going to let this boil, water boil, come to a boil actually, and I will be adding my spaghetti noodles in, and I will show you the rest. Okay, here I've added my pack of spaghetti noodles, just one pack of spaghetti noodles. That's 1 pound of pasta noodles, spaghetti pasta noodles that I've added to the boiling water. I will take about 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil and add this into the noodles to keep them from sticking. Okay, as you see here, I've added the oil into the noodles. It will start to boil in a second, and you want to keep stirring the noodles. Well, not actually keep stirring the noodles, but in the beginning of the process, you want to stir the noodles when they're hard versus when they're soft. But you can too when they're soft. But you want to stir the noodles and to keep them from sticking because there are noodles. And just keep that process up here and there with the stirring. And if you see them while you stir and they're sticking, just take a fork and kind of, loosen them up. Okay, here I've taken 2 pounds of hamburger meat, ground hamburger meat, and I'm going to take it and cook it actually until it is done and strain the oil from the meat, and then I'm going to place it back in a pot, and then I will add my store-bought pre-mixed spaghetti sauce. Okay, I am back, and I've taken my meat out of the pot and strained it from the oil, put it back in the pot, and I'm going to use this 7-herb tomato ragu sauce. I'm going to be using a jar and a half of this to 2 jars because I like my baked spaghetti very saucy. And I will add this, and you can add anything if you like at this point, any type of vegetables, onions, peppers, you name it, any type of spices. But I will be again using my beloved all Greek purpose seasoning, which I said again is not a Greek per se seasoning. It has so many wonderful flavors in it. It's just a nice blend that I like to use it, so I don't have to go out and buy a lot of seasonings and spices. So that's the 2 main ingredients I will be using and adding to the hamburger. Just wanted to give you a quick peek of the second jar that I'm using. I'm using the Ragu Garden combination. I will be adding the this jar of it, probably the whole jar, I'm not sure, but as I said earlier, I'll be doing a jar and a half, but I'll probably do the whole jar. Okay, I've added the jar and a half. Actually, I added 2 jars. I said I was going to add a jar and a half, but as I mentioned earlier, I like my pasta to be very saucy. I've added 3 tablespoons of the all-purpose Greek seasoning that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to just let this cook for a while and bring it to a simmer, and then I will be assembling and making up the baked pasta. Okay, I've taken my pasta off of the heat and they're done boiling. I've taken them and I drained them in cold water. Actually, I rinsed them in cold water and I drained them. So this is the process of the pasta being done. Once the sauce is done simmering, I will go ahead and put the baked spaghetti together. And I've already preheated my oven to 375, and we will let that bake for about 35 to 40 minutes, but you keep a check on it because pretty much everything is done, but you just want the cheeses and everything to marry inside of the baked pasta, or actually the baked spaghetti. So here I've taken a baking pan and I've added the sauce at the bottom. Then I'm going to layer the pan with noodles, cheese, so forth. You'll see. So that's the process, or you can do it any way you want to put it in the oven before you put it in the oven. Okay, and here I'm going to show you what I am showing you, that I've taken a ball of mozzarella and I've broken them down into little pieces, and I will show you what I'm going to do with that later, but just letting you see that I will be adding mozzarella cheese and sharp grated cheese to the dish of the baked spaghetti. Just wanted to show you the process that I am doing while I am layering my spaghetti to go into the oven. I've added, as you saw earlier, the sauce. I use the sauce first because you don't want the noodles to stick to the bottom of the pan or the cheese. So that's why I do the sauce first, as a pretty much a protector. So I've added the sauce, noodles, the shredded cheese, the sharp shredded cheese actually, and the sauce again. Then I will be topping this with the mozzarella cheese, and I will continue the process until all is gone and ready to go into the oven. And here it is. I've already layered it like I showed you earlier that I would do. I've taken the mozzarella cheese to top it off, and I've added some parsley to the top of the spaghetti sauce, and we're going to put this in the oven. I've already, like I told you earlier, preheated my oven to 375, and we're going to let this pretty much bake for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes depending on your oven. So just keep an eye on it. Okay, YouTube, this is the final and last part of the baking of the baked spaghetti. It looks burnt, but it's not. Trust me, it's just the sauce that's darkened up because of the parsley and the baking time. So here you are, and I will plate it with probably a salad or something, which you can add any type of size that you like. I normally do corn on the cob for the kids and some garlic bread, so I will be adding garlic bread to this and probably just a simple salad. But as I said before, you can add anything you like as a side. I hope you try this. Enjoy. Okay, here are the results and the plating of the baked spaghetti. I added a baby spring mix salad. I've taken a roll of already baked French bread, and I've added some butter, garlic powder, and some parsley flakes, and I broiled it in the oven on high for a few seconds, just enough to get it brown. And for the salad, I will be adding some Thousand Island salad dressing to the salad. Enjoy!